I want to ask you something.
What?
How about those Cowboys?
Carolyn M. Price, better known simply as Miss Price, is the Dallas Cowboys' #1 fan. She sat down with veteran Dallas media personality Angela Marie Madison for an in-depth interview about her new biography, Priceless Dream, the story of the Dallas Cowboys' #1 fan.
I'm Angela Madison, and I had an opportunity to sit with the Dallas Cowboys' #1 fan, Miss Carolyn Price.
In part 1 of this 3-part interview, Miss Price discusses her motivation behind sharing her story, tailgating outside Cotton Bowl Stadium before the practice was even popular, and the unique voice that has brought her so much notoriety. This is part 1 of the Priceless interview.
So, Miss Price, you were born in the 40s in a segregated Dallas, Texas, in Parkland, grew up in the projects in Dallas,
Yes, ma'am.
but yet now Cowboys that are multimillionaires, the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, they know your name, they know who you are, they know all about Miss Price. Tell me about the journey from Parkland, your introduction to this wonderful world and city, to now.
I always feel that God has a purpose, and I think that's what really, really took place. But my daughter, Charmaine, said, "Mama, I think you invented tailgate." I said, "Me? Tailgate? I don't like no tailgate. That's all I want to do is see the Cowboys." And so at the Cotton Bowl, when I was a quite young girl, they were little babies, small children, and we would go out and take our food and sandwiches and chips and everything, and the big large speakers were, "Oh, it is now 1st and 10, and he's on the 10-yard line." And we could hear it, but we couldn't go in because we couldn't afford to go in the game. So we would sit out and listen to the game on the speakers, eat our food, and when the game was over, we see the people coming out and maybe 1 or 2 of the players, and we would go home.
Wow.
So I always had to make myself comfortable with something in life because I wanted to go to college. I was going to go to Prairie View, and there was a lot of things I wanted to do. But because my mom and dad were ill, I wasn't able to do so. So we would I would participate in activities and sports and different things.
So you always had an affinity for football?
Yes, and I liked all sports. But what happened, we all still quite young, in the 60s, early 60s, I think maybe the Texans might have came in the late 50s. I don't know. All I know is we had the Texans and the Cowboys, the Popes. So we would just want to see them play. So I had my brother, and he would tell me, "Carolyn, we have to go and see them play." I said, "Yeah." So we would always say, well, we were the fans, and we would go and do what we could do because a lot of times we weren't able to go into the game, so it wasn't no big deal. We just wanted to see it. So.
What does that make you feel like now? From back then not being able to go to the games, but being a fan, and then being a fan now to where you can go to any game you like and they actually know you. What does that feel like?
Just the work of the Lord. Great people like the Joneses. Just, I don't know, maybe they saw my passion. I don't know.
Well, we have a foreword here in a book that you wrote about this journey to this, where you have Eugene Lockhart, who wrote your foreword and spoke about you, and spoke about you can't miss you. Of all the fans, they can actually hear you saying how about them Cowboys. How does that feel? What is that about?
I don't know. It's a gift. I mean, my boys, I can say something and sometimes they'll turn around. Even the players that are real low key, like Scandrick, some of them, they go. I never thought about that. I always thought about seeing them win, seeing them winning trophies, winning games, going to the Super Bowl. I never thought about any of this. And all of a sudden, people are asking me questions and going like, "Oh, okay, what do you want to know?" "Hi, Miss Price." Then the Lord blessed me. So it was 2 Hard Knock series and many other little things. And then in NFL, followed me from the here to the stadium, when the opening of the new stadium. We played the New York Giants.
Right.
And I think it was all in the making and the plan of the works of God.
Well,
I don't know.
You speak about a plan and you speak about winning with the Cowboys, but you're winning in life. And how old were you exactly when your parents passed and took ill?
I was 12 when I lost my dad, and 17 when I lost my mom. And my older sister, it was 9 kids, and I was kind of different. But my older sister was real protective of us. But
you all managed to stay together.
Yeah.
And you ended up raising your siblings, is that right?
Yeah, because she had murdered. She was murdered when she was 22. She was accidentally shot and she was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And then there I am with my sister and brothers. I just kept them around me.
So you raised your siblings and your own children, and you did it by what? By what means? I mean, your
faith and believing. I had 3 pregnancies. One daughter left, Charmaine, and faith and believing. And I took my sister kids, and unfortunately, 2 of them were murdered. No one had ever been in trouble or anything. Things happen.
So how do you endure that?
Trust God. I thought at one point I wouldn't survive, but then it came back again. I lost 3 siblings since 2000. Just boom, boom, boom. And just to get to a game or it was just like my whole world will open up when I could just get rid of everything and I could go in. And when I would see, they never knew this. They would go, "Hi, Miss Price." I go, "Hi." And sometimes I say, "They know my name."
Yeah, that's special when they know your name, right?
I said, But still, I remember one time in particular, I was at a training camp and I'm screaming and yelling and move, move. And Mr. Johnson, would you please hush? Come out here on the field, just please. Because I wanted him out of the way because I wanted to see the players.
Right.
I don't want to do anything. All I want to do is see the players, see them win, and see a smile on their face. My heart was it's been broken many times through all these years, but not like it was this year. When I looked in Dad's face and all of them, and I stood there and watched them as they come off the field.
So you mean to tell me that through murders of your family members, through illness, taking your mom, dad, and a couple of siblings,
4 siblings.
Your greatest degree of disappointment was seeing Dak's face this year in the playoffs?
When I looked in their face, it just, whew. And then I think a newly on Channel 5 was showing, it was a horrible looking picture of me. Did you see it? I said, oh my God. I just stood there, and what's so funny is, I just stand there till the field is clear. Maybe it's a few cameramen, maybe someone picking up some of the towels or something, but I stand right there till every single player is off that field. Then I get my things and I go home.
So is it the nurturing side of you that does this and makes you care so deeply because you took care of your siblings, you took care of your children, and now it seems like you have the same love and nurturing effect for the team, team which, has your heart.
Yes. When they do something wrong, I get real upset. I still periodically talk with Quincy. And like I tell them, there's no excuse for some of the things we do. We all make mistakes. But how many people get the opportunity to step on the field with America's team?
You've been able to do it. Maybe not in uniform.
I never thought that at my age that I would see a starting black quarterback. So I was very proud of Quincy. Everybody was so kind. One of the kindest people ever been was some of the old Danny White, Bob Lilly. It's a long list of them that's been so kind. I knew that the Cowboys were Papa. I used to listen to Howard Cosell and all of them, but I never thought about nothing much. So one guy one time from ESPN said, Miss Price, why so many people know you? I said, I didn't know how many know me. He said, well, because you're around the Cowboys. And we made a joke. I said, oh, yeah, because I was with Tampa Bay. I had to put a ship on my head, wouldn't I? And they would say, where is that crazy lady going? Oh, but all we do is put a star on and go about our business, and that's it. All we need is a star.
Right. So you're shining bright in Dallas. Tell me about this room. Tell me about this room.
Oh, I have boxes and boxes. I found something on Bob Hayes the other day. I have it on my phone, and I took some pictures of it. I have boxes and boxes of things from the late 60s up until now.
What made you, or did someone have to coerce you to writing this book?
I want people to know it has nothing to do with funds and money. I want them to know that you can do anything. There is a way to enjoy your life. I never knew it would come to this, but all I wanted to do is get in. And I say, so I need to let them know what I went through. My grandmother was blind. My mother had leukemia. My dad was sick. My sister was murdered. Two of her kids, and it just go on and on. I went through a lot. And there were times I didn't sleep because I would sit up and watch over my sister and brothers, my nieces and nephews. There is not a day past that I don't talk to someone in this city or somewhere else just to see how everything is going.